Oh, okay.
Yeah, you say your name.
I'm Dave Gulati. I head the automation practice and consumer service technologies at Columbia Sportswear.
So cool. Thanks so much for joining us, Dev. Okay, Imagine is back. Have you been to Imagine before?
Yes, in 2019.
Okay, so
Very cool.
We're back. We're live. How's it going for you?
It's much more fun, much more interactive, I'll probably say, and made a lot of good friends down here, and
Awesome.
really like to discuss and hear others' perspective. So
Yeah, that's awesome.
pretty amazed at it.
We've been talking a lot about the community, and now the concept of community is even evolved with the Pathfinder program, right? I mean, there's many components. I was told off camera that you've been a big part of sort of the early stages of helping contribute and build the Pathfinder program. Talk to us a little bit about how that experience has come.
I think Micah can kind of relate a lot of stories. We have a very good interaction with Kirsten and Micah, and developing the Pathfinder program for Columbia Sportswear. We really like it as being actionable, like a 30, 60, 90-day plan. So that is really good. And overall, federation and controlled citizen development is very close to our heart. We are standing a dedicated squad at Columbia Sportswear, which will not produce a single bot. All it will do is enable teams, identify automation champions, and really build teams around it. And that's our mantra. It's not about individual. We want to empower, make teams, which actually will then become a federated automation teams in themselves.
Very
So
cool.
really, we were looking forward to it, and I'm very glad it's happening.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun to go out and do that. We met with the team at Columbia in Portland, and that was really cool to go see their facilities and get to meet with Dev and his team. You know, the day started with a maturity assessment, I remember, and we kind of went through that together. And you guys have a very mature automation program, right? There's a lot of areas where you are just crushing it. And one area that a lot of, I would say a lot of programs struggle with is reporting on the metrics and value that they deliver to the organization, and then communicating that effectively. And I want to hear some of the ways that you guys have found success there, because I think you're doing really well in both of those areas.
Yes, I'll say we are still learning. We have got a lot of success, especially in how we measure on the metrics. And we strongly believe that if you cannot measure things, you cannot improve it. It's very simple. And really on that, one good thing which happened the way when we started was to build a very mature COE. We took time in doing that, starting way back, analyzing in 2018 and building the COE in 2019. My partners who sit in the COE, like the program managers and the people who lead the OCM, bunch of very mature and good people. And they have really built the program very well, I must say. So besides the technology, it's the other side of it, program, which is very strong.
Right, again, we get back to this idea of, there's amazing announcements from the product perspective, but ultimately every conversation we have, it really comes back to the people.
Yes,
right?
It's so important.
You also said amazing and mature, and I was about to say, so it leaves me out of the conversation.
No, you are very much part of it then.
I just think the future is so bright. What are you excited about? So from being here in person, whether it's the product announcements, whether it's talking with folks on the floor, what's something you're going to take home from here and leverage or dig into a little bit more?
I think two words which come to my mind is, first is partnerships and second is solutions. And I'll touch on those. So partnerships, it's about ecosystems. It's about partnering with Automation Anywhere, with other solution providers who actually come together, create an ecosystem to deliver solutions, which is the second part I was saying about.
Yeah.
And it's not about a given tool or a given system. It's about how do you deliver value to your business partners, to your stakeholders, by developing smart and good solutions, right? So solution is very important for us. And the kind of partnership I'm looking even with Automation Anywhere, and I've got very good traction on that, is that we come and co-develop things, co-develop products, and research that a problem statement together.
Right.
And then Automation Anywhere bring in their own design thinking and say that, okay, listen, we can solve this problem by doing these things. So for me, partnership and solutions, those are the key things.
I
And
think that's amazing. So I'm just a marketing guy. I don't do tech, but I work with vendors, and one of the things I often look for, I always look for, honestly, as I look to partner with folks, is I look for partners, not vendors, right? So it's less transactional. It's more relationship, right?
absolutely.
And one of the other things we've been talking a lot about is this concept of communication and the importance of communication. I think it's worth reminding people. It seems like, oh yeah, duh, that makes sense, but it's true though. Like, I've heard this being underscored over and over and over again with our conversations throughout the last couple of days. Any best practices or recommendations for the audience in terms of communicating and sort of helping set expectations or setting your program up for success, no matter what phase of the journey you're in? Any pro tips for the audience?
Sure.
I'll put you on the spot right now. It's only live. It's only going to 10,000 people. No big deal. No pressure. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. First thing I think is trust. It's a very easy word to say, and takes lot of nurturing to do it. Is that build the trust internally with your business partners, within your teams, and also with your partners. It's such an important thing. It takes time, but it is such an important thing. Is that you actually, even when you talk about vendors, right? We tend not to use that word in our organization. And one of the key reasons for that is that we think that we are on the same side of the table when we are giving solutions to business. How does it happen? You need to establish that trust. Same thing happens, let's say, within teams. How do you establish that trust first? So once that trust is established, you can do wonders. And to establish trust, it is, for example, we practice a lot within our teams, is that we want our teams to fail. It's okay. Because we even question if they become successful on the first iteration, something is wrong, right? So it's okay to fail. The fear of failure should never be there. That's how you start building that trust internally within the teams, with your business stakeholders, is that you set that expectation, that we are going to improve it, but this is the first iteration, and it's okay to fail doing that. So that's one thing I'll probably share, is that they're very simple things, but simple is beautiful.
I like that. So I know that you guys have quite a robust library of automations that are in production now. Can you talk about some of the automations that have had the biggest impact for the team at Columbia?
Yeah, there are quite a few use cases. We have use cases in supply chain, for example. We have built quite a few bots. One of them is actually one program, I'll probably call it, is traffic routing bots.
Okay.
So we have bots which actually go out and then they manage the traffic routing of all the products which go to a retailer, right? It has to happen on our retailers' websites and their portals. So the bots are doing it now. And one big step we took in that is that that's where we brought in RE.
Got it.
Is that our routing coordinators. Earlier, they had to call tech to schedule their bots because it is so dynamic, it changes all the time.
Sure.
So we brought in RE Web, and now what is happening is we have given the power to the routing coordinators, right?
I love
So
that.
that is the human bot interaction. We are very keen on that. We're doing something similar with our call center, our contact center agents. We are building automations in that area.
So you're able to empower beyond, right? Give everyone the power of the automation, of the bot, of the digital
It's so
coworker.
important that the central piece of your automation journey is the human.
Yeah.
Right? So we strongly believe in that it is such an important thing, is that ultimately you're enabling and empowering them, not only in doing the action is great, but also in decision making. Like a lot of our bots we are seriously thinking about cognition, for example. So how do you bring in technologies which are like virtual assistants, for example, right? We are focusing on that quite a bit, either through chat or through voice, or even through any other interactive channel, maybe even social also. So that's the next horizon we are thinking, is that your channels can be quite a few, can be interactive.
Yeah.
Where we really want to focus with Automation Anywhere is to build those journeys, and we have a term called RP as a service. So where you, either through enterprise services or RP as a service, you basically source data, you take action, but you are interacting front end with the UI, the user
Right.
experience you're building.
Right. It sounds like you guys have this robust thing going on already. Lots of big, exciting plans. It sounds like for all the right
And
reasons.
plans
too.
for API tests too. It
Absolutely.
Sounds like.
Yeah.
It's
That's a major
It's
one
a
for us.
really exciting future. And we appreciate you being a part of the partnership and being a partner, not just a customer, but a partner and part of the, all of the things that you give back to us. We're so thankful for it. Right now, we're going to throw to our next breakout. Dev, thank you again for joining us. I hope you've had a great time here at Imagine. That it's been a couple of years since we've been able to do this, and I look forward to talking to you again soon.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it.
Thank you. All right, guys, we'll see you after the next breakout.